I'm Ara, and I'm doing the persuasive speech on gender-neutral schools. A biological female child enters a boys' specified room, and when she returns, is bombarded with insults and physical harassment. Other children within her class and teachers like scold her for entering the boys' bathroom. Personally, I have seen many people struggle with their own identity and are pressured into deciding between either being female or male. But within this century, there is a lot of new information regarding gender, such as both genders, neither gender, or one gender. And so I think that gender neutrality is becoming more prominent within America, and schools should be established to create a safe and welcoming environment for individuals, while providing assistance in exploring and respecting gender, agender, and non-genders, which can include is not limited to gender-neutral pronouns, gender-neutral bathrooms, and gender-neutral activities. So first I'm going to talk about the growth of the LGBTQ community and queerness. There are different types of LGBTQ and queerness. Queerness just meaning that you like specified things, you are a specific type of person. You just identify as you rather than say, I'm a lesbian, I'm a gay male. You'd be like, oh, I'm a lesbian who's into, I don't know, feminine women. It's just a lot of new information regarding LGBTQ. Standards revolve around a boy or girl in singularity and are gender binary, which means that it's either female or male. There's no intermix, like intersex children, or there's no transsexual people. And so there's an increased growth of those who delve into the realm of queer, including portraying and identifying with both genders, as well as either gender or a single gender. The spectrum is very vast and filled with things that I don't even know about. Now, there's so many things involved in queer that it's really hard to explain. Because of this, it can be difficult to decide between a single bathroom if one considers themselves both gender, is neither gender, or is trans. The trans community struggles with finding comfort within bathrooms, and so schools in other countries are pressing the issue and creating new gender-neutral bathrooms. An example of this is quoting from Eric Alter. It is certainly true that Americans' acceptance of gay people is ahead of trans people, said Merrick Keisling, Executive Director of the National Center for Transgender Equality. I think we're getting to the point where every reasonable person in America understands that gay people really exist, that it's not a choice, and that some people are just gay. We are not nearly at that point yet for transgender people. Another person, Izzy Road from Slate.com, states, gender-divided bathrooms have long been a point of contention for queer people, especially those identifying as trans. For those whose gender identity or presentation defies the clear-cut gender binary, the necessary urge to relieve oneself often ends with a painful resignation to either male or female within the public. The result is discomfort for everyone involved. Though it is difficult and a hot-button issue for trans people, other non-gender binary people suffer from emotional, mental, and even physical abuse from their decision to enter bathrooms that they're not biologically assigned to. There is bullying with assignment gender biases, such as moving from lesbian to gay to queer and then essentially gender. Females are solely feminine and males are solely masculine. Or gender pronouns are simply he and she, and they are absolute. And anything abnormal or differing is considered weird, wrong, or bad. So usually we call trans people, sometimes we call it it's a mean manner, or we don't know, or we can call people who are queer and are both genders, we just call them them, because that's what they prefer. LGBT people receive harassment for their sexuality, which is dependent upon cultural views that rely heavily on gender binary ideas and religion that state that it is wrong to be anything other than this. So that revolves into binary gender and heteronormative ideas, which is just female, male, heterosexual couple, the end. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a video which kind of explains, what is it? It is gendered media.
World isn't black and white. It's pink and blue. And available at Australian Geographic.
Such that seemingly social concepts have changed as to what femininity and masculinity means. The included behavior and more associated with their colors. So now children are becoming more aware of wanting what they want, and so they're choosing not just Barbie dolls and makeup. They also want trucks. They want to play Nerf guns that aren't pink. They want pink, blue, green, just any of the color spectrum, and they just want to be them. They don't want to be a specified gender. An example of that is Sasha, a young male, wears a mixture of both feminine and masculine clothing and desires to play with both Barbie dolls and trucks. For the first 5 years of his life, Sasha alternated between girls' and boys' outfits, leaving friends, playmates, and even relatives guessing. Mr. and Mrs. Laxton, Sasha's parents, explained to Telegraph UK writer Richard Alini. We wanted to challenge gender stereotypes, and so if Sasha wants to dress up in girls' clothes, then so be it. Dr. Gerard McDermott, a psychology lecturer at Angela Ruskin University, says, the family setting is only one source of gender-specific information, and as children grow, their self-identity as male, female, or gender-neutral will be influenced by school, socialization with other children and adults, as well as mass media. Just seen here, where if you see blue and pink things, you're most likely going to say, I'm a girl, so I'm going to take pink things. And then, as a child grows and develop their own independent sense of self that will include their own individual gender identification. So, similarly to gender-neutral bathrooms and toys, allowing the use of gender-neutral terms and applying gender-neutral activities can enhance opportunities for all children while creating an open environment. So the benefits of gender-neutral schools would be create sensitivity to others. It gives confidence to those who are not gender-binary, as well as girls that consider them girls and guys that consider them guys, but they still can play with each other's toys. It creates a respectful environment so that we're not bullying each other or calling each other names, and hopefully in the future that will continue on. And so like in the high school, we won't be bullying each other about what we wear. It makes a tolerance of individuality, and so more queer people will experience themselves, and they will be more, it just overall decreases bullying.
More accepted, right?
What?
More accepted?
Yeah, basically. It decreases bullying as there is increase in knowledge and awareness of diversity, and an increased opportunity for all students to succeed. A quote from Patrick J. McGrath says, I believe we should raise each child to believe that he or she or they can do and think whatever he or she or they wishes. There is no reason why they cannot aspire to be brain surgeons or plumbers. Boys can aspire to be nurses or kindergarten teachers. Girls can be ambitious, aggressive, and career-oriented. Boys can be gentle and family-oriented. We should model for our children and encourage them to follow their dreams and not be constrained by gender. A few other examples of gender-neutral ideas were pronouns given by liberal students, and even like in Sweden they've been doing this. I don't know how to say these, they look like German, so they, Z-A, O, and they. So my conclusion is that schools, universities, and countries are fighting against gender norms. Nicole Bailey states that Sweden children from so-called normative behavior gender-neutral proponents are also subjecting them to a whole set of new rules and new norms as certain forms of play become taboo, language becomes regulated, and children's interactions and attitudes are closely observed by teachers. One Swedish school got rid of its toy cars because boys gender-coded them and ascribed the cars higher status than other toys. Another preschool removed free playtime from its schedule because, as a pedagogue at the school put it, when children play freely, stereotypical gender patterns are born and cemented. Gender neutrality is becoming more prominent within America, and schools should establish gender-neutral friendly bathrooms, activities, and pronouns to educate children and expected children that are not gender-binary. Gender neutrality is based on choice and thus individuality. Despite our desire to protect our children from danger, it is in their best interest if we allow children to express themselves through their own definitions of gender and their own definitions